I'd been in Glenvillia, a settlement to the south of Portsmouth's town centre, nigh on 2 months, and had discovered on the afternoon of my arrival that a bank accepting of my debit card was located 15 to 20 minutes away by foot toward the centre. I usually commence the days with a run to Coconut Beach in the opposite direction. After an interval of sweat and toil, I would strip down and cool off in the ocean before threading my way home via Moo Cow Trail. I eschewed all thought of a run that morning, but remained keen on the idea of a dip, stashing swimmers along with my wallet and card in the shopping bag I carried on leaving the house. My route to the bank brought me by a corner shop and a beauty salon near the bottom end of the street and past a car repair workshop. Behind it was the aptly named Long House, a warehouse open along the sides. A customs office and shipping agent operated within. Continuing straight ahead, I slowed momentarily at the point where the main road into and out of town formed a T with the section of trail I was on. The view across the bay to Fort Shirley, nestled in greenery, was unobstructed. Further on, fishermen retailing catch out of stalls hugged the roadside. Small craft berthed on a stretch of beach at their backs. The morning sun sparkled on the water. I reached the bank, yards from where the road formed a bridge over the mouth of the brown-black Indian River. There were 2 ATM machines. I crossed to the only one of the 2 in working order and stood back and waited for another customer to complete his business. I followed the drill when my turn came, inserting the 250 East Caribbean dollars the machine disgorged into the zippered section of my wallet before beginning the walk back. The Longhouse placed me less than 3 minutes from where I was staying. It crossed my mind that I should leave my wallet at the house for safekeeping, but I decided against making the diversion. The stretch of bitumen ahead of me bore no name that I could find on any map. I was familiar with it from the times I'd run and walk there. Tethered goats and cows munching on the lemongrass flourishing at both sides of the road rarely deigned me a second glance. Running or walking this way, I seldom encountered someone on foot, less often a vehicle, as if the shortcut it formed between Glenvillia and the township of Picard was more trouble than it was worth. At a bend in the road where the bitumen segued into Moo Cow Trail, as the trail completed a loop around the ocean-facing side of the Longhouse, the vegetation was thick, the way narrow, and in a parlor state of disrepair. Downpours rendered it nearly impassable, both for pedestrians and vehicles. Of late, the rain had been less severe, allowing me to skirt the section with ease. My turning across a stone bridge over the Picard River, short of the Riverside Hotel, was close and would bring me to the beach in 10 more minutes. I wasn't to make it that far. Astonished when the bag draped over my shoulder began coming loose, I turned and saw a young man breathing down my neck. "Hey! Give me your wallet." I had no intention of giving him anything. A tug of war ensued, during which time my adversary pulled a knife and parried. I was spry enough to avoid disfigurement. When the bag tore in half, most of the contents scattered on the ground, and he tried to scamper off. Failing to make good on his attempt to flee, he landed on his backside and the palms of his hands in one of the puddles. The peaked cap he was wearing tumbled off his head as he dropped. Scrambling back to his feet, he began hurling stones when I shaped to continue my pursuit. I dodged the missiles and went after him again as he sprinted off. My chase availed nothing. The part of Moo Cow Trail nearest the Longhouse and the mouth of the Picard River was labyrinthine. Less agile than I had been in years gone by, I lost him in the morass close to where the river emptied into the sea. I traipsed back to where I'd been jumped. There was no sign of my wallet among the items on the ground. I stood a while, lamenting the card and cash lost. I reported the incident. The Portsmouth police reconnoitred the area and took a written statement. They suggested I avoid that part of the trail in future. I would hear from others that assaults weren't uncommon at that turn in the road. I would not heed the police advice. In the weeks left to me in Glanvilia, I ran and walked through there as if nothing had gone amiss. Arasta, a wandering fruit salesman, a man I'd spoken to on or near the trail on occasions, offered to fashion me a knife in a sheath when I told him of my misfortune. Days after the incident, I was on my haunches in the front garden when a passerby wielding a machete called out a greeting. I rose and recognized his face. He was from the neighborhood. "You're the man in the incident, bro." Word travelled fast. My description of the one who had mugged me induced him to use the word clay to describe the complexion of one neither black nor white, but of mixed race. He added that he had just talked to a young man by the front of a small grocery retailer on Ross Boulevard, near the T intersection and opposite Geest Park. I knew where he meant. This individual was a dead ringer for the one who had preyed on me, another marker being the bandage he was wearing on an injured hand. I listened to him unblinking, thinking to myself, comforted in some small part by the fact that there was a justice superior to any that I, or even the Portsmouth police, could have set in train there and then. I had not the slightest doubt the hand of it would intervene and be felt one day. I exchanged farewells with the Glanvillian and, trowel in hand, went back to my weeding.